Prepare yourself for Earthling Entertainment, the perfect blend of paranormal and pop culture, with your host, Joe Wakefield and Ryan Lang.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Earthling Entertainment with Joe Wakefield and Ryan Lang.
That's right, and I'm your host who's becoming more and more convinced that he's actually stuck in a Truman Show-like situation, except in reality it is actually an alien menagerie. I'm being studied. Kids come to field trips to see me. Alien kids. Joe Wakefield.
This is the way. Hi, I'm Ryan.
Yeah, I like it short and sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah, so everyone returning, how's it going, guys? Thank you for listening to another episode. This is episode 98.
Holy crap.
I know, we're very excited to be here. Our 100th episode's coming up. Please remember to download this episode. All jokes aside, we love them downloads. The downloads are what sustain us.
They're
They keep us
tasty.
young. They keep us alive. They
Yeah.
keep us handsome.
It's true. We're like vampires.
Yeah. They keep us viral.
Yeah.
And viral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All the V words.
All those lovely words.
Absolutely. And guys, if you are joining us for the first time, you might be wondering, what is this show about? What do you guys do here?
Huh?
Yeah, should we tell them?
I don't even know.
Well, guys, what we do here is a little bit of the spooky,
Okay.
a little bit of the creepy.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes that's cryptozoology, a haunting, a myth, a legend, but it's always spooky. It's always spooky.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That is the first segment. The second segment is disclosure discussion. Now, disclosure discussion is all about aliens.
I'm just asking questions about UFOs and aliens, extraterrestrials, and that's the kind of stories that we like to cover. We got a really big doozy of a disclosure discussion for you guys today.
Oh, yeah.
I know
Oh, yeah.
you're going to like it.
It's going to be a fun one. And
It's
that,
a classic.
oh, it is classic. And that is followed by sometimes in life things are weird and they might not fall under our two categories. Maybe they're not so spooky in a supernatural sense. Maybe they're not quite alien in an extraterrestrial sense.
Sometimes they're kind of gross.
Yeah, but maybe they're still real, yet weird. And that's why we have a segment called Real World Weird.
That's
Now-
right. We do.
Yeah,
We
nailed
do.
it.
I
Nailed
like
it.
that
Nailed it.
segment.
I do too. Well, that's the first half of the show, guys. And then the second half is all dedicated to pop culture and entertainment. Now, that is celebrity guests, sometimes audio dramas. We always talk about celebrity deaths when they occur. We have genre news, and it's all kinds of fun. Trivia games. I mean, anything you could want in the pop culture entertainment, leaning a little bit more to the geek stuff,
Oh, yeah.
is the way to go. And then those two halves. Our
Yeah.
first part of the show, which is all spooky, supernatural entertainment.
Right.
And then the second half, which is all human TV show pop culture entertainment. A lot of entertainment. That's why we're Earthling Entertainment, and that is our show.
Thank you for our returning listeners. We love you guys. And if this is your first episode, we really hope you guys like it. We got a good one for you today.
Stick with it because it is a roller coaster.
We got a lot. We got a lot going on.
It's a weird, goofy show, Ryan, and that's why I just want to tell you something weird and goofy. Did you know that giraffes can live longer without water than camels?
No, I don't think I knew that. But I
Yeah.
mean, it makes sense, right?
All you got to do, man, I don't know if it makes sense. All you got to do is Google stupid things that are true, and let me tell you, you're going to find a lot. Do you know any weird, stupid things?
I saw something last night.
Oh, yeah?
and
What's that?
It was like, what the hell? I've never heard of this before.
Oh,
The-
I'm intrigued. What are we talking about here?
The black lace weaver spider.
Oh, God.
So
Continue.
it says it exhibits one of nature's most extreme forms of parental care, matrophagy. After providing trophic eggs, the mother initiates drumming and vibratory signals into her web. This cues the spiderlings to swarm her, bite through her abdomen, inject toxins, and ultimately consume her body.
Okay. That is the weird. So I'm imagining this like weird mama doing like this drum circle, kind of hypnotized. Like, ah, la, da, da, da. My time is dumb. You should eat me so you can continue. Someday your kids will eat you. This is just the circle of life and not so weird. I'm reminded of those spiders from The Mist. Do you remember those?
Yes,
That
those
was
were.
horrifying.
Oh, that one guy. I could feel him.
I can feel
I
him.
can feel it.
Yeah, so there's a soldier that they come across in the mist. If those of you who don't know, it's based on a Stephen King book. There's a movie about it. You can see it. People are trapped in a store, and mist comes out, and it turns out the mist is basically another dimension bleeding over full of monsters. Well,
Crazy religious lady.
yeah. At some point, they're trying to search, and they come across this guy who is a soldier, and he's all hung up in this giant spider web. And like Ryan said, that was a really creepy part. I can feel him.
Yeah, because they put all of their eggs in them.
And burst out. Something about the whole idea of like a spider or a insect like laying the eggs in our body and having it burst with like these little creatures. It's always creepy.
It's disgusting.
It is. It messes with us on like a real primal level. Do you remember Slither? James Gunn did this movie called Slither.
I never actually watched the whole thing.
Well, in this girl gets injected by eggs from an alien, and she just compelled to keep eating, so much so that she's full like a balloon, like comically like a balloon, until she pops with a bunch of carnivorous slugs, and it is disgusting and wonderful. And honestly, if it wasn't for the early 2000s CGI, would probably still hold up as like one of the scariest, most disturbing things I've seen.
I actually do think I've seen that scene. It is fucked up.
They're tearing me apart.
It's so fucked up, dude.
Nathan Fillion gonna save the day. Oh,
Dude.
look, Elizabeth Banks is here.
I
James Gunn did some good movies, dude. If you like the new Superman or Guardians of the Galaxy, check out some of his earlier work. Like,
want to see the new Superman. I heard it was great.
oh my God, you haven't seen the new Superman?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm not gonna spoil it, but I will say that it is a very, very, very good movie in my opinion. What they did that I thought was really cool is when you read a comic book arc, let's say it's over 5 or 6 comic issues. Well, in each one of these issues, there's usually still a 3-act structure. So what you get is like, oh, in issue 5, I have to fight this bad guy, but it's all part of the plan that gets, resolved in issue number 6. Well, the movie's kind of like that, where there are straight up just mini things that happen that might be the climax of another movie. Like there's a huge kaiju fight of a kaiju monster in this film that just happens like it's another day. Like, oh, it's a Tuesday. It didn't have any big, huge ramifications for the plot. It was just, oh, and then I had to fight a Cujo on Saturday.
I hate it when that happens.
So that part of it I really liked. And you know what they did well is they dug deep into these comic book ideas and characters and mythologies without making it so you had to know any of the information. In just a couple of lines, anyone who didn't know who that character was or what they might be able to do, it is said to you, or the audience for that matter, in a way that doesn't feel like they're spoon feeding you, but at the same time, you have all the information you need to move on.
Context.
And that's why this film was successful at just jumping us into a universe full of heroes without having to have an origin movie for each one. You know
Pretty
what I mean?
cool. Yeah.
Oh, I really liked the new Superman.
Awesome. Well, that's good to hear. Yeah, I definitely got to watch it. It's on my list.
You know, it's
My
funny.
list is quite long.
I like James Gunn as a storyteller so much. I wish I had a chance to interview him again, because when I got a chance to interview him, it was for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, and it was being released on...
Fucking bragging over here.
No, not at all. I was just saying that they were get to release it on DVD, so it was literally, we were supposed to ask questions about the special features, and that's it. So you couldn't really dig in too deep. And the second I started talking too much, I was like, so now that you've opened up the Marvel Cinematic Universe, do you think a Planet Hulk film is even possible? And like, he shut that down real quick, and he's like, well, I'm not interested. And his people were like, okay, you've done enough. Like, you can tell that they're
You've
like,
done enough.
we're not going to talk about future Marvel stuff. And it's funny because they ended up taking Planet Hulk and using some of the story for Thor Ragnarok.
It's a shame he couldn't at least like humor you and like just be like, I'm not really interested, but man, that'd be cool.
Well, you could. All right. Well, this is me bragging. You could check out the interview on the YouTube if you want.
There you go.
But,
on the YouTube.
On the YouTubes. But that being said, he was great about it. He was business cool. It's like when an actor gets a job and they can't talk about it. They're just like, oh,
I
are
get
you
it.
really the new Laura Croft? And they're like, well, I love the character and I'd like to work with the director, and the studio is top notch, but nothing has been signed yet. Meanwhile, Comic-Con's coming up next week. That's what they're going to tell you. Not now.
Well, yeah. You gotta save the good news for the people who pay the money.
Yeah. I don't know. I went on a bit of a rant there. Anyways, watch Superman. I watched Thunderbolts right before Superman. I had like a superhero double feature instead of it being Fantastic Four because they were at home. So I bought them both on digital and had a little double feature. I enjoyed it.
I just couldn't care less about Fantastic Four. It has nothing to do with the fact that the previous films flopped. I just, even as a kid, I remember thinking it was dumb. And I was like, this guy stretches. Okay. Stretch Armstrong's cooler.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm interested for Fantastic Four for two reasons, and that is Silver Surfer and Galactus.
Okay.
Yeah,
See,
so-
I don't know. I never cared, so I just never got into it.
Well, Silver Surfer in any incarnation, this is not the main normal Silver Surfer. This is a different woman character who is playing the Silver Surfer. But the one I'm familiar with is he is from a dying planet, and he saves his planet by being the herald for Galactus, which pretty much means he goes to other planets, shows up, and says, "Hey, this giant space god is going to come and eat you all, like straight up eat your planet." That's what he does. And in the Fantastic Four movie Rise of the Silver Surfer that came out in 2007, he was portrayed by like a giant space cloud. So I'm excited to see like the actual physical form of this character. Although
You know where
not
my
excited
head goes.
enough to go to theaters.
When you say Silver Surfer, like, I don't mean to brag, but you know, in the prestige of Boy Scouts, I was able to go to the National Order of the Arrow conference, and everybody got really creative with their patches.
Sure.
And I guess Marvel made some deal with one of the states, and literally they were able to have like, what was Silver Surfer Marvel or was that DC?
Silver Surfer was definitely Marvel, considering we
Yeah.
were just talking about a Marvel movie.
There you go. That makes sense then. No, I just
Sometimes it amazes me, like the nerd knowledge you know, and then the nerd knowledge you don't.
I'm not that much of a comic nerd, so I get them mixed up easy.
Alright.
But I remember they had all the Marvel, and there was like one that was like the Prime patch, and that's right, we were trading patches. That's how cool we were in the Scouts there.
I mean,
And
why not, man?
but I mean, when you're the troop, they were the troop that had those. There was a troop wherever George Lucas is from. He was a Boy Scout. Gave them the rights for Star Wars. There was like a Yoda patch. There was like a Darth
Oh,
Maul patch.
If I was
I
a
have 'em.
kid, before we were oversaturated with Star Wars, I would have killed for a Yoda patch.
Dude, I have a bunch of them. My dad was awesome and helped me like go around camp and trade, and I think he kind of got a foot in and helped me out.
I miss trading patches. You know what it reminds? I never traded patches, but you know what it reminds me of is trading Pogs.
Yep.
Do you remember what Pogs were?
Bro, I found a bunch of my old Pogs.
All right. So anyone out there who doesn't remember Pogs were literally cardboard discs with printed pictures on it, kind of like trading cards.
And
But
you
it
can
had
make your own.
you could make your own if you bought the Pog Maker. But you got a metal disc and you kind of smacked. I don't even remember the game. Like you stacked them on top of each other and then you smacked them with the metal disc. And if they flip over, you get to keep them.
Yeah.
It was like jacks, man.
Yeah.
Before the I shouldn't say before the internet. Before everyone and their self had a smartphone, we played with cardboard discs and we're not even that old.
And it was a
in my
huge-
day, we threw the cardboard discs.
It was a huge fad.
Dude, everyone loved that. It was like it was before Tamagotchis.
I want to say it was around that time, actually. I want to say it was around the time of Tamagotchi and even, I'd say, Pokemon cards.
No, Pokemon cards were definitely later. Yeah. No, Pokemon's cards were like 97, 98, like late 90s, but Pogs and Tamagotchis, maybe Tamagotchis and Pokemon cards were around the same time.
I remember
but Pogs
Tamagotchi.
were early first. You know what's weird? Everyone has rose-colored glasses from their childhood, and I think the 90s toys were the best. I think before they were all before they were all basically computer games.
Crossfire, you get caught up in the crossfire.
Oh,
And then
man.
you're just shooting marbles at each other.
When I was digitizing some home videos to make that collaboration I did with all of the young movies we made. Long story short, I came across a bunch of old commercials from the the 90s, and they were all toy commercials because the things I would record off TV were obviously like Nickelodeon cartoons and things. And I put together like a big long thing of all these old commercials from the 90s, and sometimes it's fun to just watch on YouTube, just be like, haha, I remember a dancing ballerina Barbie. Never owned one, but they played that commercial every goddamn minute.
My God, I remember that too. The was that the one that could?
ballerina Barbie, dring, and that's all I remember.
I remember the one where they would fly,
Oh,
where it was like the Barbie that would fly or
those
whatever.
were,
I remember seeing those commercials all the fucking
well,
time.
the guy version. Okay, in when we were young, I don't know if it's still the way it is, but they had girl version and guy version of everything. You had Polly Pocket, and then you had Mighty Max.
That's fucking right. I had all the Mighty Max.
Well, the guy version of what you're talking about were called dragon flyers, and you
I
put
remember
them,
those.
You put them
Yep.
on a handle, you pull the string, and they were action figures that their arms would spread out, and they had wings, and they would fly up like a helicopter. And what you're talking about is the girl version of that, and I do not remember what the girl version.
Neither do I. But it's like that was the original drone when we were kids. Like pretty much, right? Like that was like before that when you go to the mall now and there's like always the dude like flying the little helicopter thing around.
Yeah, or that weird little boomerang thing. You throw it up, it would come right back to him. He's like, "Look, guys, it's fun. You should buy one for like $60."
Oh, dude, no, they get that. That's so like targeted at parents too, because you're walking your kids through there and they're gonna see that and they're gonna want it, and it's like, God damn it.
You know what? I think this is like this whole opening to this episode has dated us more than any other episode we've ever recorded, because not only are we talking about old toys, but we were just talking about things that happen in the mall
that attract our kids.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, when's the last time you went to an actual mall?
Pretty recent. It wasn't
Really?
that long ago.
Really?
Yeah, every now and then I go.
Ghost town.
Yeah, that's why I like it.
My mother still
Much
goes
better.
to malls.
Much better.
Well, they'd be a lot easier to take over for a zombie apocalypse now, and I always thought that would be like a great idea because I'm original. No, because obviously all the movies and video games show during zombie apocalypse, you go to the mall. Can you imagine going to a mall now during the zombie apocalypse? You go in there, you break in, you're like, yeah, all right, gather supplies. And you go out there and all the fucking stores are empty. Like, shit,
Well,
we don't have anything.
we didn't think this through.
No, there's like one Suncoast for some reason.
It feels like there was a lot of steps that came to this where a lot of people didn't think this through.
Well, anyways, let's talk about some weird Inuit mermaid on this
Dude.
week's
Spooky stuff. The Qalupalik. Yeah, it's spelt Qalupalik.
Earthling Entertainment. We do our homework.
Qalupalik is a cryptid from Inuit mythology, described as a humanoid sea creature that resides in the Arctic waters. It is known for its eerie humming sound, which is believed to lure unsuspecting children near the water's edge.
Yeah, because anytime I hear creepy humming, I'm thinking, hey, I want to run towards it. Stupid kids. Okay, never mind. You talked me into it. That is very alluring.
Thank you. I know. They are said to have a generally human-like shape, but express many features of the aquatic life around the area.
Yeah, so gills, what have you, maybe some scales, like a fish person.
That's kind of where my head goes as well. The Qalupalik are described as having long hair that resembles seaweed, fins on their heads and backs and limbs, and webbed hands and feet. On their webbed hands are long and sharp claws that help it to capture and eviscerate its prey.
Oh, yeah, little Freddy Krueger fish.
Not bad.
Oh. I'm imagining like the creature from The Shape of Water that with just straight up long Freddy Krueger claws.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Why does every image I look up of it though have like some skeletal face? They really make it look like a zombie. It's really creepy.
It really is, and that was one of the things that allured me to this cryptid.
Oh, I see what you did there.
This creature's description mirrors that of most humanoid aquatic cryptids, or beings from folklore and mythology across the world, notably that of mermaids. Aside from the generalization that these vicious Inuit mermaids live along the shoreline, little is said about their daily habits or personal dwellings.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I mean,
no one's been invited over.
Yeah, fair enough. Get some scuba equipment, hang out, and be like, strangely, they all live in a very cool coral castle. It's very magical until you realize they're dining on babies.
I mean, they did have a nice appetizer. Like just showing up, just, hi.
It's
cold as hell down here.
Under the sea, you'll eat me. Oh, shit.
That's too legit. It's under the sea.
Yeah. You're the song guy. You should have really tried that.
I
I gave it a whack.
No,
though,
you took a great whack.
Thank you.
You whacked
I'm good at whacking.
You whacked hard.
I whack hard I could think.
You whacked on.
I was gonna try to like take that joke over the finish line, but it took me. Continue.
It took him. It got him, guys.
All right, shut up. Inuit Fishman.
The true concern for the people, however, is in what the Qalupalik does when it is on the shore. So perhaps their personal lives have never been of much import. So no one cares about what they do.
I think it's more likely that anyone who'd want to study them would be killed or die trying. You know what I mean? Because there's people out there trying to hunt Bigfoot. There's people out there trying to hunt the Loch Ness Monster. Maybe Inuits are just smarter than the rest of us, and they're like, you know what? We're good. We don't need to know. Let them do their thing. Like,
nope.
Yeah, we're fine.
Just a big old nope.
There's like 1,400 of us in this whole Arctic Circle. We don't need to kill ourselves. It's good.
They're like, hey, nope. Qalupalik's over there. We're over here. You, nya. Me, nya.
It's like my grandfather used to say, don't fuck with smart fish.
He did say that all the time.
I like
All the time. According to the tales, the Qalupalik lets out an ethereal humming sound, unlike that of any other creature that lives along the shore. This humming sound serves as a warning to everyone that they must move away from the ocean and back to safety. So
Yeah.
now he's looking out for you.
Hummers can be dangerous.
Those who disregard the hair-raising hunting call of this creature will be snatched by its deadly claws and dragged into the icy water. The Qalupalik wears upon its back a large pouch called a emautic. This is a traditional accessory for Inuit parents, which allows them to carry their children on their backs while they are out and about. This creature wears this backpack for similar, but far more nefarious reasons. As one may have already guessed, it is said that all their potential prey along the beaches and rocky water's edge, the Qalupalik prefers to hunt children, especially those children who have failed to heed the words of caution from their parents and have found themselves alone.
Oh, why that? Oh, that's my baby snatching pack.
It looks very nice.
My mama quilted it.
Oh.
It's for snatching babies.
Oh, it's homemade. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's part of our home culture that none of you care to learn about.
I'm learning right now, man. I'm learning
Because
right
I
now.
forced it on you.
It just, just chill out, man. Get it? Arctic water. Chill out.
Okay, that's dumb. Continue.
Well, according to Inuit folklore, the Qalupalik preys on disobedient children who wander too close to the shoreline.
Bad kids are the
It is-
tastiest.
It is said to snatch them up and take them into the depths of the ocean, never to be seen again.
This is a weird twist on the Santa Claus myth.
It really is. I'll bet he's probably homies with, oh my gosh, why can't, Krampus.
Krampus, yeah.
Yeah.
How many of these stories are just like, it's a monster meant to scare the kids in behaving?
Well, maybe it's a warning.
I guess.
All the parents know about this. They don't need to be warned.
I think what it is it tells us over the time of history, kids have been a pain in the ass since the beginning of time.
Well, yeah.
Stay away from the river. Don't go near the shore. It's freezing. Why? There's the fish person. He'll come and take you, throw him in his backpack, and go eat you. Shut up.
Not in the sand. Not in the sand.
Yeah.
Parents often use tales of the Qalupalik to warn children against the dangers of the sea and the ice and open waters. The creature's humming
And
sound,
to brush your teeth.
right, is a foreboding sign of its presence, sending chills down the spine of anyone who hears it. Some stories have told that the Qalupalik feeds on children's youth to keep itself immortal. Sorry, this says herself immortal. As long as there are misbehaving children that she can catch, she can stay young.
All right. I don't think it's gender specific. I think that was the particular, fair enough.
It kind of they're generally actually, I think, referred to as female.
Oh.
Some stories have, yes, they have also have the ability to alter their appearance through a technique known as, I'm going to try my best, Pilutitaminik.
Sure.
Pilutitaminik.
Pilatutamimic.
Yeah.
All right.
Qalupalik can be outsmarted by its targets. They are said to be invulnerable in their natural state, but some clever Inuit hunters found a way to bypass this. They would call out to it and ask it to change shape for them, usually into something like a seal or a whale. Then they could kill it and bring it home for a valuable catch.
That just feels like a sketch to me. You know what I
Like,
mean? Like
right?
there's something, hey,
You
turn
know-
into a seal. And he's like, why would I do that?
If
Bet you can't. It's like, no, yeah.
it.
I can turn into a seal, then do it.
I bet him $5 you can't do it.
Exactly. It's like, you know what? Turn into a baby seal. Why would I turn into a baby seal? Because you can't be cute because you're ugly. I could be cute, then do it.
Spear.
Baby seal. All right, club it.
And that's
I'm getting me a mink scarf.
Dude,
It's a baby seal. Same thing.
That's right. Nothing wrong with enjoying the fruits of nature, Joe. We're gonna do it.
I'm
There
just
are,
saying, it's a funny thing.
there are tales of children willingly being given to the Qalupalik. One such tale,
It's the Inuit fire station.
yes, one such tale is about a grandmother and her grandson struggling without food. The grandmother called upon the Qalupalik to come and take him away. She was not able to feed him, and he would be better off.
I mean, but isn't it implied that they eat him?
Like,
I'm just saying, or like, if not, we don't breathe underwater, so like, I don't know if you know what? He'd be better off underwater, either being eaten or drowned. It's
for the
fine.
best.
It's for the best.
You don't understand.
It's like, I don't know if you're a good grandmother.
Bye.
I'm never gonna complain about my mother and taking care of my kids again. I'm gonna tell you that.
Once the tribe was able to successfully hunt again, a young Inuit couple took it upon themselves to retrieve the child.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh shit.
They were able to track him down, tethered to a piece of seaweed by the Qalupalik so that he could not escape her. However, they were not able to retrieve him because the Qalupalik would drag him back under the waves whenever they got too close. They stealthily hid nearby all night long and cut him loose once the sun rose. This tale has different variations. Some versions have the grandmother giving the child to the Qalupalik as a punishment or becoming a great hunter after being rescued.
I don't know. It sounds to me like J.K. Rowling ripped this whole thing off for the fourth Harry Potter movie, because at one point they get a bunch of kids and they tie them underground like the sea creatures. They might as well be these guys, and the wizards got to go down and fetch them. And this, I'm starting to think that everything is just ripped off. Ryan, no integrity in art.
There's no integrity at all, Joe. I mean, it is similar. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
So,
I guess they either put a magic spell in them or maybe they have a little breathing apparatus. I don't know. But according to this legend, this kid's just tied down and he's fine breathing underwater. He's just kind of hanging out, like tethered by seaweed. What a weird thing to be a creature that lives on land and to spend your whole life walking around and have a normal civilization, like with your family and, normal life. And then suddenly you're spending months because it was until the tribe could go hunting and get food again. So your grandmother gives you away in the winter and you're spending months just underwater, tethered, floating around in an environment you're not
in
used
Arctic
to.
waters.
In Arctic waters, apparently being able to breathe, but just like
And survive the cold.
when they get out, it's going to be like an astronaut or a prisoner in solitary confinement. That kid is going to be insane. He's going to murder the entire tribe, starting with his grandmother.
He might become one.
No, I don't get any of that, Ryan. I think it's just a straight up Reaver situation.
All right. Well, Inuit communities have passed down stories of eerie encounters near the water for generations. Some claim to have heard the distinct humming sound, while others report seeing shadowy figures beneath the waves.
Ooh. I really think it would be cool if there was a humanoid, intelligent creature, sea creature out there. I don't know if mermaids exist. And a lot of people say that they're just what is it? The sea cow.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't buy that. I never did.
I don't know how long you got to be at sea to be like, it's a beautiful woman. I need to. Oh my god. And it's like, nope. That's
Like,
that's a manatee.
it's-
Look how
one of
hot
his friends,
she
like,
is. Be
dude,
like,
we've been
dude.
to sea for months, bro.
It
You need to
is-
stop. You've got permanent rum goggles, bro.
It's
Like,
it's just sitting there all scurvied up. You're like, I'm gonna go in there and hang out with the mermaid. I don't know.
I'm gonna go have sex with that.
I didn't want to say it. You know what's funny is to be a modern pirate, right? Like the guy from Dodgeball, Alan Tudyk from Dodgeball, and walk around and just he broke into an aquarium and tried to the manatee.
He's having sex with all the manatees, and there's just nothing that they could do, you know?
Oh,
He's a
maybe-
pirate.
I think I think that went too far.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I guess we can talk, now that we talked about crazy creatures, let's talk about aliens.
Disclosure discussion. Ha 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 ha. It's about aliens and stuff.
The Voronezh Aliens. The Voronezh Aliens are a group of aliens that allegedly landed in Voronezh in the Soviet Union in the late 80s. In what might be the most bizarre extraterrestrial encounter ever reported, dozens of eyewitnesses claim that in the autumn of 1989, a trio of three-eyed aliens, along with their mechanical companion, they had their own, like, C-3PO.
Yeah. Actually, by the drawings, it's kind of like square, so I imagine Rosie from the Jetsons.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. They landed and attacked a pair of teens in a Russian park. The Russian city of Voronezh.
Well, I mean, who hasn't attacked a pair of teens in the park? Right?
Now we know what you do on your weekends.
Not at all. It just sounded like a really funny time to say that. Continue.
The Russian city of Voronezh is an industrial hub located about 300 miles from Moscow. The city has a population of nearly 1 million and hardly seems like the kind of isolated region that is ordinarily associated with strange alien encounters. Yet, on the evening of September 27, 1989, at about 6:30 p.m., it became the host of what strikes many as being one of the most unusual, not to mention horrifying, encounters with creatures ever recorded. Ever. Eyewitnesses reported that on the evening in question, a glowing, deep red, ovoid object, which they estimated to be approximately 45 feet wide and 18 feet high, circled above an area known as Voronezh Park.
Our apologies, guys. We are not Russian, and
I
these
did
names.
my best.
Yeah, we obviously have never spoken before.
Voronezh Park. Witnesses swore that the vehicle hovered less than 40 feet above the ground, close enough to disturb the grass below. Then, just as suddenly as it had arrived, the UFO soared away, leaving the eyewitnesses perplexed and no doubt more than a little relieved. I mean, I would be.
No.
I mean, I'd be kind of excited, but at the same time, it would be fucking scary.
Yeah, I mean, the entire time when I would be looking up at a UFO, because it hasn't happened to me yet, and but if I'm looking up at a UFO, I can't help but imagine all the people on the rooftop looking up in Independence Day, and the green light glows on their face as it opens up its primary weapon before exploding half of New York, and seriously, I don't want to get zapped, turn into a skeleton, Mars Attack style, right? But if I had to choose between a green or red skeleton, it'd be green. Not that it matters.
No, it really doesn't matter because it wasn't even released on Christmas like it was supposed to be. That was until the strange craft returned just minutes later. It hovered near a group of grade school children.
Oh, God. That's when you poop, when it comes back.
There's all these names here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different kids who were engaged in a soccer match. But it wasn't only children who saw the UFO. It was also spotted by 35 to 40 adults who were waiting at a nearby bus stop on Putalin Street. Both the kids and adults were awed by the spectacle before them and utterly unprepared for what they were about to see next. According to eyewitness accounts, a hatch on the underside of the still hovering craft opened to reveal an odd, long-armed, necklace, thick-set, 9-foot-tall entity with a small knob-like head. The cr-
Yeah. It looks like there's a bowl flipped upside down on the shoulders of like a really elongated limbed creature, humanoid creature.
yeah. And we're looking at the picture that the kids drew right now. It's crazy. The creature was clad in a silver jumpsuit with bronze boots and was so large it appeared to fill the hatch opening.
I mean, we don't make doors bigger than people. That makes sense.
Right. As if the creature's immensity wasn't disturbing enough, eyewitnesses claimed that there were 3 luminous eyes wedged into its tiny dome like head. The being's 2 outer eyes were whitish, and the center eye, which was set slightly above the other 2, was bright red and swiveling around like radar. They also claimed that an alien had a disc like object attached to its chest.
Oh, I wonder what that is. Some kind of technology, you imagine, right?
It's got to be
Part of the spacesuit.
I was going to say, like, I'm sure they don't breathe oxygen like us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be from somewhere else. So,
I mean, that's the thing, right? When we were kids, we always see Star Wars, Star Trek, and it was always the idea that we can go to these different planets and see these different aliens. But the simple fact that the pressure wouldn't be the same. Like, forget atmosphere. The pressure, we would die. The atmosphere has to be the same. It has to have the same
the gravity. You know what I mean?
everything.
Like, yeah. So maybe that.
So we're probably never going to be able to really visit a different planet unless we are in some crazy gear. And that's what it sounds like this is. Alien gear. Who knows what their environment is used to? Maybe inside that suit's all water. Maybe they're fish people.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Who knows? No, yeah, they could be anything. This bizarre being seemed to methodically scan the terrain below, then sealed the hatch. Then the UFO made its descent. Eyewitnesses stated that the object's weight was so substantial that it permanently bent to the side a standing poplar tree that was near the craft. So it straight up just landed on one of their trees.
Fair enough. We've all hit stuff while parking. I mean, it's bound to happen.
What?
But I mean, hey, you know what else? That is physical evidence. That is a tree that has been bent by something. Now, you might not, think it's a UFO, but you can't deny that that tree has been bent by something. Physical evidence.
That's right.
Good stuff.
The object then hovered about 5 feet off the ground and extended 4 leg-like supports and landed softly on the grass. At this point, the alien that was seen through the open hatch now emerged from the ship, followed by 2 equally colossal creatures that shared the same 3-eyed appearance.
Yeah, makes sense.
These extraordinary entities walked with a heavy gait, was the quote, and were followed by what witnesses described as a box-like robot with push buttons on its front side.
Like I mentioned, guys, imagine Rosie from the Jetsons.
Right. An alien adjusted one of the controls on the robot's chest, enabling it to walk about in a mechanical fashion. The entities then began to examine the ground near where their craft had landed and proceeded to take some soil samples. One of the creatures made indecipherable sounds, which some eyewitnesses perceived to be orders. Then a beam of light emerged from the chief alien's chest. The beam delineated a number of luminous triangles and rectangles about 1 foot by half foot wide, as if indicating something to its comrades.
Okay, so we got language with whether it's written, it's spoken. They're definitely intelligent. He's either giving them orders or basically showing complex molecules or something. Figuring out what's in the ground and showing them on a display with these triangles. I don't know. It seems like and it's very specific. Everybody saw the same thing. I mean, that's what makes this whole story believable.
No, and that's why I really like this one. No, it's the more witnesses, the better. And we even have you guys can look this up at home. That all the kids drew pictures, and we're looking at them right now. It's crazy. This frightened one young man so much he apparently cried out in alarm. At the sound, the lead alien apparently fixed its gaze on the youngster, freezing him unnaturally in his tracks.
Creepy.
This sent panic rippling through the rest of the terrified crowd, and witnesses claimed that the aliens and the UFO all simultaneously disappeared. But this encounter was far from over. Approximately 5 minutes later, the remaining witnesses, still stunned by what they had saw, were once again thrust back into the looking glass as the UFO and its occupants instantaneously reappeared at the same coordinates.
Yeah, it's because what this article doesn't tell you is as it flew away that first time, there was this stupid student and he just screamed out, "Jerks!" And then they just came right back. It's what you can't. Dimitri, he's a troubled kid.
What'd you say, sir?
Yeah,
Huh?
now he came
Got,
back. Yeah.
some- got something to say?
What'd you say? What'd you say? Now, Dimitri, unfortunately, well, you're going to hear what happened to Dimitri.
One of the creatures was now carrying a tube that was about a foot in length. It aimed the tube toward a 16-year-old boy
Dimitri.
who was nearby, and a beam shot out, causing the teen to disappear without a trace.
That's right. And he got put into a alien menagerie, like I was talking about earlier.
Ooh, that was a long tie-in. Not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
Not
he
bad.
got sucked into an alien menagerie, but don't worry. They had this really crappy clone of him that they made and dropped him off in his place. His parents never noticed. He wasn't that bright to begin with. But Ryan will explain more.
And they gave him a really cool hamster wheel. Before a terror-filled riot could ensue, the creatures re-entered the UFO. It retracted its landing gear and began its ascent, slowly increasing its speed. Just as the vehicle was disappearing from sight, the vaporized teen miraculously reappeared.
Yeah, that was
Or
the
did
dumb
he?
that was the dumb clone I was referring to.
Of course, it wasn't long before the press got wind of this harrowing and utterly bizarre tale of UFOs, robots, vanishing guns, and gargantuan alien invaders. Genrik Silinov, head of the Voronezh Geophysical Laboratory, first reported the case, and the Soviet news agency TASS published a report about the event. Soon, the story spread across the globe like wildfire.
I mean, why wouldn't it? There's a bunch of witnesses. There's a lot happened. I mean, that is an insane account. Most people are just like, oh, I saw a UFO and that's it. This has, in broad daylight, like a lot of people seeing aliens not only show up, but do tests, have a robot, zap a kid who disappears and then he reappears, or it's his clone. And it's just, I mean, how could this not go across the world?
I got a weird take. What if they're just terrified of us? Like, what if we have the complete wrong idea and they're just like, oh my God, ah! And they're like running back on their, like maybe they're scared of us.
I mean, honestly, humans kind of suck, and think about all the things we do to our own species. I wouldn't be surprised if they
Yeah.
were watching us and they're just like, okay, Earth is a dangerous primal wasteland that you should never go to.
They literally put like guns on flags and stuff. They're crazy out there. In no time, scores of scientists, Soviet government agencies, and reporters descended upon the city of Voronezh. Those interviewed claimed that they had observed this UFO not just during the incident in question, but also many times between the dates of September 21st and October 2nd, 1989. An investigation at the scene of the landing indicated that there were depressions in the ground in the shape of a large rhombus that must have been caused by something weighing several tons.
I mean,
But-
there you go, more physical evidence.
Exactly. But they say there were conflicting reports when it came to that, is what it says here. It says there were conflicting reports of the cause.
Fair enough.
Scientists,
It's kind of vague. Don't really know what
Yeah.
that means. Like some people are like, there's holes in the ground, and other people are like, nope.
maybe
like-
one guy like, what the fuck's a rhombus?
Yeah, that was the conflicting reports, right? One guy's like, it was more of a triangle, not a rhombus.
It wasn't a triangle, it was totally a rhombus, dummy.
You're trying to use that word of the day calendar, bro. You're trying to put rhombus into everything today.
No, it was on my calendar. Scientists also allegedly found anomalies in the local magnetic field and background radiation, though these findings have apparently also been disputed But we have to remember this is like a now 40-year-old story.
Also, it was the Soviet Union, and not trying to get into Russian politics, but the Soviet Union was known for fibbing.
Yeah, like what
Just-
happened? Nothing.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Okay. So Silanoff further claimed that unearthly substances were found at the scene. At first glance, they looked like sandstone of a deep red color. However, mineralogical analysis has shown that the substance cannot be found on Earth, though additional tests are needed to reach a more definite conclusion other than they don't know what it is.
I mean, that in of itself is something.
Like, yeah, they're like, we don't know. We don't know what the hell this is.
Mm.
Other reputable witnesses include Lieutenant Sergei A. Matveyev, who confessed that while he had not actually seen the aliens, he had seen the spaceship, which he described as a body flying in the sky, moving silently at a very high speed and very low altitude.
I mean, it's still a good witness to be like, oh, I didn't see any aliens. I saw a spaceship. I mean, you still saw a freaking spaceship. I'll take that.
Oh, the body in the sky? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yep.
That was Tuesday.
Lieutenant Matveyev claimed that even he was a little skeptical when he first saw the object. Quote, I thought I must be really tired, but I rubbed my eyes and it didn't go away. What is this guy live in a cartoon world? Like, then I figured in this day and age, anything is possible. That's such a bad. I love that.
No, dude, it was the Soviet Union in the 80s. He's probably like, oh, maybe the government made a giant spaceship. Okay, well, I wouldn't know about it.
Yeah, whatever.
That is not normal.
Like, yeah, it's just another day.
Yeah. Russia.
Russia.
Crazy shit happens.
In Russia. Vladimir A. Moiseyev, director of Regional Health Department, claimed that his primary concern was that of the health of the children who may have been exposed to unknown pathogens or radiation due to their contact with the aliens and their technology.
Yeah, that is a completely logical point.
That is a valid point.
Yeah, like I said, when we can't go to a different planet because of pressure, atmosphere, whatever. Diseases are definitely part of that. I mean, War of the Worlds ended because they couldn't deal with our germs. So vice versa could easily happen.
Dude, yeah, they got to be disgusting. They've been in space for how long?
Can you imagine a plague killing all of humanity and it's just literally like a cold from an alien squid?
Like, right. Oh my God, that could happen.
It could absolutely happen.
Absolutely
Yeah,
happen,
that is
Joe.
a valid concern.
Well, back to these fun aliens here while we worry about our mortality. Journalist E. Efremov of the Sovetskaya Kultura spoke of the veracity of the eyewitness accounts. Children and eyewitnesses of the abnormal phenomenon have been questioned by police workers and journalists. There are no discrepancies in the description of the sphere itself or the action of the aliens.
It's true, and all the drawings of the aliens look the same as well. They all
Very.
have like very long limbs. They all have that upside down bowl type head. I mean, everything, even the spaceship, while looking like a traditional flying saucer, is still consistent among all the drawings.
Dude, 1000%. Moreover, all the children who became witnesses to this event are still afraid, even now. Following the event, the children were encouraged to draw the beings they had seen, with results that even skeptics had to admit were surprisingly consistent with what had been reported by the children and adults alike. Even today, debates rage in
Ufology.
Thank you. In ufology circles concerning this odd incident.
Ooh, I think this is one of the most credible alien stories that is
I agree.
out there. I love this incident. You know what's funny about this though? The entire time you were reading this, I kept thinking one thing. The most unbelievable detail in this entire thing is that when the alien spaceship first arrived and this incident happened, it was seen by what was it, 12, whatever, school kids, right?
Yeah.
But then they said up to 35 or 40 adults who were waiting at a nearby bus stop. That is the biggest bus I have ever heard of in my life.
That is a lot of people.
That is a lot of people on the bus. There's no one. Maybe no one had cars. I don't know. Maybe
Public
an echelon
transport
bus.
must be the shit in Russia.
That was the most unbelievable thing. I could believe the aliens. I could believe the Rosie
Climb
robot.
aboard.
I could believe them zapping poor Dmitri and having him returned as a clone that his parents will never truly know what happened to him because he's an alien menagerie. I could agree with all of that. But
maybe it's a double-decker.
God, that's a lot of people at a bus stop.
You know? Double-decker bus.
Double-decker buses are kind of weird, Ryan.
Yeah, they are kind of weird, dude. Like, honestly, it's like, it kind of freaks me out a little bit.
But they're real. And some things in life are weird and real.
They are. Oh, gosh. This next one. Oh, God.
Real world weird.
Actually, Ryan, before we jump into real world weird, you know how earlier I was talking about how funny it would be if a pirate broke into the aquarium to try. The point is, the reason why that popped in my head is because I was just on social media and a thing popped up and I wanted to do it for Real World Weird because it was like an amazing story. It said a gentleman in Florida had actually broken into an aquarium. That's why it was in my head.
Okay.
And he grabbed a squid or an octopus and was like running around with it, trying to baptize it in the name of the ancient eldritch gods.
Cool.
It was the funniest story ever. And you know what, Ryan? It turned out to be complete bullcrap and an AI image. And that bummed me out because AI, no matter how you feel about it, it creates these images that are just so much fun. And it's going to be really hard to find real world weirds when they happen now because I need to do so much research to make sure they really happened.
It's already, right? Just give it some time and we won't be able to tell anymore, dude. It's over, bro. Like, we won't know anything. We won't know what's real.
You're probably right, but I did do my due diligence on this next article. So this Real World Weird, I didn't cover it last week because of that reason. I wanted to double check to make sure this was factual, and I guess it is real. So guys, enjoy this Real World Weird.
Rabbits with tentacle-like growths are invading.
Oh my God.
Something strange is happening in Colorado. Rabbits with tentacle-like growths around their heads were spotted in an otherwise normal neighborhood. Some residents in Fort Collins recently noticed an unusual sight. Monster bunnies. Or at least the next closest thing. Rabbits with horrifying, and I think gross, growths on their faces.
Yeah, they're like black tentacles coming out of around their mouth and their eyes, and it is something out of a freaking nightmare.
It looks like some kind of like mutant zombie bunny thing that you'd see in a video game or something. A resident described the devil hairs as having black quills or black toothpicks sticking out all around the rabbits' mouths. Here's a quote. I thought he would die off during the winter, but he didn't. He came back around a second year, a local resident, Susan Mansfield, had to say.
Yeah, so it's definitely not fatal to the rabbits to have these face tentacles.
It's got to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Concerned onlookers have speculated that this might be an outbreak of a contagious disease, like in the Resident Evil video game franchise, which is understandable. It seems like everything lately is simply another wave of gloom and doom harboring the end of our civilization. However, according to experts, this is not the case. Colorado Parks and Wildlife has confirmed that the condition is caused by a virus that is not contagious to other animals, so just to rabbits.
Just to rabbits. I always say so far. You know what I mean? It's kind of like there is the cordyceps mushroom that is kind of the main thing that makes the zombie outbreak in The Last of Us is a real thing. That mushroom exists. It does invade ants and make them go crazy and make zombie ants, and all that shit happens is real. And that whole show, The Last of Us, is about that mushroom affecting us humans.
Because it finally was able to survive in our hot temperature, because that was the thing, is hot temperature was the fungus's enemy.
Yeah, well, in the show for sure, but so who's to say that these tentacle rabbits can't eventually have this affect us? That would be horrifying.
I mean, it could evolve, right? Whatever this is, this virus.
Yeah.
Additionally, the University of Missouri has stated the condition is called rabbit, oh my gosh, papillomavirus. Papillomavirus. It's a DNA virus seen most frequently in cottontail rabbits of the Midwest. The virus, which resembles warts or benign cancerous cells, has no cure. Despite the alarming appearance, which it is, the Colorado Parks and Wildlife assures that the rabbits are not a threat to other animals or humans for now. They didn't say that. They didn't say that. We did. But they do advise residents to leave the bunnies alone, just in case.
Dun, dun, dun.
So that is a way of saying for now.
Yeah, for now. Well, the thing is, it's a DNA virus, right? So it's affecting rabbit DNA. So if that is the case, then okay, fine. I guess it can't jump to any
Could I
other
become a
species.
rabbit?
But that's what I'm going to say. Who's to say we don't use rabbit DNA in the future for some reason? Maybe it's a fashion thing. I remember when I was a kid, there was a show called Batman Beyond. And in the future, people, instead of getting tattoos and piercings, split their DNA with animal DNA to give things like leopard spots or pointed ears. So in the future, and there's a lot of hypotheticals.
People do that now. Shit.
I'm just saying, we use rabbit DNA for something. Maybe it'll be like a libido sex drug. Those things love to, make more bunnies. Maybe that happens.
Oh, dude.
And then we get face tentacles, Ryan.
No, then we got face tentacles. We got like a bunch of kids now because we're all multiplying like rabbits.
Multiplying face tentacles.
You know what I mean?
If one kid with face tentacles is scary, 30 would be horrifying.
Like a whole herd of tentacle-faced children. A herd.
Can you imagine though? Like seriously, I would not want to have. I mean, no one wants weird growths, but what would you do if you just suddenly started having, I don't know, these protrusions coming from your face? I mean, people would look at you like you're a monster. Look at anyone who has a disability has to deal with every day of feeling different. Can you imagine anything like that growing out of your face?
No.
Jeez.
No, I could not. Man. So yeah, no, it's I'm not gonna lie. This is highly disturbing to me.
Yeah,
I
like
can't,
it bothers you?
I do not like the way it looks. It's very gross. It's very disturbing to me. I don't know why, but it really bothers me.
It does feel like a sign of the end times.
Like I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know. I get it. There's a reason.
Dogs and cats are living together.
Mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria.
Like, my God. That's all I honestly have to say about this. It's like real world weird for sure, but also kind of disturbing and gross.
You know what? We need to go to Colorado and we need to get all these tentacle face rabbits and just make a tentacle face rabbit like community and try to like help them. And then I think it would be really, really kind of weird to have
It's just going to be a quarantine.
Well, no, a tentacle face rabbit petting zoo. Come on, Ryan. If it's not contagious to humans, we could really. I mean, people take a picture. There's a reason why a jackalope, whether it's real or not, I'm not going to say,
It's
but
real.
it's not real.
It's
the
real.
The point is, there's a reason why people like seeing a rabbit with antlers. It's because it's weird. It's real world weird. You get some tentacle face rabbits hanging out in like a weird petting zoo, and you also like, I don't know, sell ice cream or something. Play it up like dun 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 dun. Hey, it's the petting zoo of the alien rabbit monster face. It can affect you, but maybe it can.
I'm
Just
seeing
pet
in the commercial now. It goes to like some kid just like, ew.
Yeah, it's just like everyone got disgusted, looks
Like,
kind of enjoying themselves. It's like Ripley's Believe It or Not, like, okay.
Yeah, that's it's just panning to people just kind of just, ooh.
Why did we come here?
Ooh. Oh my God. Are they okay?
All jokes aside, though, people would pay to see that.
They would.
I mean, you Google the images and it looks like it has to be fake. So anything that looks like it has to be fake, people would pay to see in real life.
You're right. You're right. We're terrible. We're all awful.
Do you think you could still eat them? Like
Joe,
you make tentacle rabbit
Joe.
stew? I've never eaten rabbit. Maybe rabbit's good, but tentacle rabbit
This
could
feels
be
like
better.
Walking Dead. You're eating tainted meat. Tainted meat.
I'm just seeing how long I could talk about tentacle rabbit face because it bothers you so much.
I don't think I've ever been so disturbed about an article that we've talked about. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it does. It's gross.
All right, time for a break. Let's jump into the second half of the show.
Let's.
Calling all comic fans, it's time to feed your brain at Green Brain Comics, where the freshest new issues, graphic novels, and manga hit the shelves every week. Whether you're looking for the hottest new series or the latest small press sensation, we've got it all. Every genre for every age, Green Brain Comics is your one-stop shop for all things graphic storytelling. Got questions? Our friendly staff knows their stuff. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to the world of comics, we've got recommendations that'll keep you coming back for more. And don't forget to check out our special events. Green Brain Comics is not just a store, it's a community. Located in East Downtown Dearborn, we are at Green Brain Comics on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Shop online at greenbraincomics.com, and remember to feed your brain at Green Brain Comics.
Earthling Entertainment special report. 1. Kristen Wiig will play Roberto in the upcoming live-action Masters of the Universe movie. 2. Thunderbolts arrives on Disney Plus August 27th. 3. Marlon Wayans confirms that Anna Faris and Regina Hill will return for Scary Movie 6. 4. Fallout Season 2 has set a December release on Amazon Prime. This has been a Earthling Entertainment special report. This is how we do it. Earthling Entertainment.
And welcome back to the show. This is the second half, the entertainment pop culture section. And we are going to usher you in now with our first segment with a little bit of music mumbles.
That was beautiful.
I try.
Music mumbles.
Terror Vision to release Jimmy and Stig's score. This comes to us from rumorg.com. Marking a hallmark 10 years of keeping the physical media flag flying, Terror Vision has announced plans to release the doom metal score to Joe Begos, Jimmy and Stig's, currently in theaters. The 16mm blacklight gore fest was shot in the director's own home during the COVID pandemic and is the first release under Eli Roth's The Horror Section banner.
Hey, man, you got to give it to someone who's like, hey, the whole world's shut down. Pfft, I'll make a movie. It's like all those people who made the sourdough bread, except, useful.
That's right. That's right.
I don't need bread. I need entertainment.
Yes, sir. And we've got it for you. Lucky you guys. As is customary with Terror Vision's musical releases, audiophiles have their pick between vinyl, cassette, and CD.
If you're going to do physical media, why not offer it all? Although you should go the even farther route and get 8-track. How dope would that be? I want to be so powerful as a musician. I could be like, I'm releasing this on 8-track. Well, the problem with 8 tracks is there's only 8 tracks. Pfft, double 8-track. 2 8-tracks in a and room
God.
for a booklet.
Revolutionary, man.
Yeah.
The Jimmy and Stig score release are part of the label's 13 weeks of Halloween event, which sees new products made available every Friday. Previously announced and currently available for pre-order are 3-disc deluxe edition of 80s slasher parody Student Bodies and a red variant LP featuring the score from Cheerleader Camp.
Finally.
My favorite.
Yeah.
Interested collectors would do well to follow Terror Vision socials for release details, as some items will only be available in limited quantities.
Ooh.
Visit Terror Vision for more information and pre-order availability for Jimmy and Stig's film score.
Yeah, and honestly, if you're a fan of physical media, I suggest you do that because there's not that many companies doing physical media anymore. Umbrella is one of them. There's a few, but it's few and far between. And we actually are coming at the end of the physical media era. There's no denying it. Okay, whether it's 10 years, 20 years, it's going to go away. And yes, things like records still exist, and there are niche people who still collect them. But
vinyl's big in
well,
metal right now too.
The problem is with this physical media when it comes to movies is that when it comes to, I don't know how to say this, but the DVDs apparently aren't lasting as long as we thought they would. And VHSs always degrade over time. And unless you're backing everything up, it might disappear. I like physical media, and I think it is the best way to store your stuff for as long as humanly possible. Nothing lasts forever.
And you
And-
actually own it.
I do. And you know what? You guys should too. Fun stuff. Own physical stuff. You know what I bought the other day? A few weeks ago, actually a long time ago. Oh my God, it might be like episode 50. So like half of our episodes ago.
Oh my God.
We interviewed a guy named John Penny, and John Penny is the writer of Return of the Living Dead 3. And well, recently, it's a great episode. Check it out. It's our zombie
It
episode.
really is.
But recently he put out on his socials, and I contacted him personally to congratulate him because they are releasing his screenplay, his original screenplay, signed by him in physical media form, and I just ordered that. Pre-ordering all these weird collectibles is a lot of fun, and that is the only, I'd say, good thing about physical media being on its way out. And that is every release is like a collector's item now because they're only doing limited releases for everything. I bought Fallout, the Amazon Prime show, not the video game, on physical media. I have a 4K Blu-ray of that. And I have Prey, the last, Predator movie on physical media.
Not many people do that anymore.
I don't trust the fact that, I don't know. I guess in my version of the apocalypse, the internet goes out, but the power's still on, so we can still watch things. I guess. I don't know. Anyways, if you guys are into this music score or anything that's done by TerraVision, definitely check it out. And you should always look at what their pre-order options are, because like they said, everything is a collector's item now, limited of everything.
And it's cool. Like they knew they had to make it more cool than just, oh, you're buying the movie. It's like, no, you're buying that with the booklet and the thing looks cool.
I mean, the fact that the score of this film is coming out on either 8-track CD or cassette. I mean, I'm not 8-track.
Not
Vinyl
8-track.
CD. It should be on 8-track. I mean, that's just pretty cool.
Good old 8-track. Oh my God.
Good old 8-track.
That's where you hid your weed back in the day. You put it in the 8-track player.
What?
Yeah. My dad tried it, but that was the first place the cops checked.
Well, then clearly it wasn't a good
Oh, it's
idea.
a terrible place, but everybody put it there.
You know what's funny?
What?
When I was, all right, I'm going to tell the story real quick. When I was 19 or 18, when I was pretty young and marijuana was still illegal in all its forms in Michigan, I got pulled over and I had I think it was like a 1/4 ounce on me, and it was in my trunk. Well, I just played it cool because I figured I'm in trouble or I'm not. We'll see what happens. And the cop pulls me over because I left our buddy Brian's house, who apparently they thought was a hot spot for things like that. In any case, they searched my entire car and they open up and it wasn't in there. It was in the trunk. So then they go to open up my trunk, and then they open it up. There is just trash everywhere because I'm like 19 and I didn't give a shit. And I literally, there was an entire, I think I cleaned out my
remember
car
your old
for
car.
a date or something. So I literally had bags of garbage that I just put in there. And he opens it up, and I swear to God, he throws his arms up, calls over the other cop. The other cop comes over. They both look. I see them shake their head, and then they close the trunk, and they're like, all right, you're good to go. But if they had taken 5 minutes to look, there was a 1/4 ounce of pot there.
Oh, man. Well, and it's
I'm
so
glad I was not in trouble at that time.
I am glad. No, but I remember your old car. That was hilarious. Oh, my God.
That car was a death machine.
It was.
Yeah. Speaking of death, here's our next segment.
Remember that guy? Remember that gal? Well, now they're dead.
Terence Stamp dies at 87. Terence Stamp, the British actor best known for his role as supervillain General Zod in Superman the movie and Superman 2, has died. He was 87. Terence Stamp was also known for The Collector and had a memorable role in The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. All that aside, most millennials will remember him from the film Yes Man, where he played a self-help guru who launches Jim Carrey's character off on his adventure. Cool side note, in the 1995 Empire magazine named him as one of the 100 sexiest film stars of all time. Not bad, Terrence. Not too shabby at all. Terence Stamp, you will be missed.
You will be missed. And then it was funny because every article I read about this guy that I wanted to put in information, none of them covered what Ryan's about to tell you, which was what he knows this actor from.
He was the voice for Mankar Cameron in the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, which is the main antagonist, the main bad guy. And he did a great job. He's the leader of the Mythic Dawn cult. And they orchestrated the assassination of Emperor Uriel Septim. It was awesome.
So he's definitely known for larger than life characters. You know what's funny is I was surprised to find out that he played General Zod, because of course I've saw the original Superman and the second Superman, but I don't know. I guess I just didn't make that association because it was so many years later that I was aware of him as an actor. But he was a great character actor. He had a very strong presence.
I was gonna say he's so recognizable. And I feel like there's so many other roles that I know him from because he just looks so dang familiar. And I never saw the original Superman, so I don't know.
Fair enough. Well, he was basically the main antagonist, once again, in Superman 2. In the first Superman, he was pretty much just there for like a scene. But
Okay.
yeah, but in any case, guys, whether you know him from video games or you know him from movies, he, of course, in art circles, will be missed.
And will always be sexy.
Sexiest man. I'm just saying that's a pretty good label to have, right? Like the sexiest actors of all time, because presumably there's going to be a lot more in the future unless the world actually does end. So getting on that list is pretty good.
Not bad.
I would have voted for Galactar Pokorchnik, but he doesn't show up until 3042. So,
Yeah. Well, what can you do? But
pour one out for Terrence, fellers.
That's right. Well, I think that now it is about time to get to the very end of the show, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. We got one segment left then.
Yeah, we got one segment left, which is called
Earthling Entertainment Headlines. Headline number 1.
Netflix is treating Oscar-winning director, I never can say this name.
It's Guillermo del Toro.
Thank you, with the respect that he deserves. See, I won't even disrespect by saying the name wrong. There's no denying that streaming has facilitated a great home and viewing platform for millions of films in the first quarter of the 21st century. The only problem is this exclusive content tends to stop many great works of art from being viewed the way the filmmaker had intended. Luckily, this is not the case with
Guillermo del Toro's
next film, a fantastical reimagining of Frankenstein, starring Oscar Isaac. Netflix has recently announced that Frankenstein will come out in select theaters on October 17th, followed by its Netflix premiere on November 7th, 2025. This is great news for the cinephiles who can't help but dread every time the streaming giant buys or funds a promising new film. The fact of the matter is, original streaming movies never seem to have the cultural impact as theatrically released films. If you think we're exaggerating, just name your top 5 Adam Sandler films, then check to see how many of them are his Netflix originals. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, there are a couple, right? But he keeps doing them. He did one where he was an astronaut and it wasn't a comedy, and he's talking to a space spider. He's done a lot of those Netflix movies.
That movie was like I wanted so much for that film, and then by the end, I'm like, well, that was a movie.
Yeah, it's like, well, they said stuff on camera, and then it was over.
I know that guy. He's Adam Sandler.
That's kind of my point. But anyone you talk to is going to know Billy Madison, even if they liked it or didn't like it. Little Nicky and Mr. Deeds.
Well,
Happy
if they
Gilmore,
didn't like those
knows
films, then they're wrong, and that's okay.
With the exception of Happy Gilmore 2, there is not a single Adam Sandler Netflix movie that I would be like, oh, I would recommend that.
I can't help but agree. You're not too wrong.
Well,
Netflix's decision to release Frankenstein in a limited theatrical run may be due to the strict qualifications that are required to submit a film to the Oscars, which may have been something Del Toro negotiated when signing his deal with the streamer. In any case, all of us here at Earthling Entertainment, that's right, every last one of us, are expecting a feast for the eyes when the undead masterpiece comes to town.
And honestly, I do think this will be a good movie because I love Guillermo del Toro. I do. I think he's a great director. He directed the first 2 Hellboy movies. I loved Kronos. I loved the first Mimic. Like he he has not made a movie that I did not at least enjoy watching.
Yeah, I like all those.
Yeah, well, you know what? If Netflix is going to take these risks of putting these movies out in theaters, that's personally what I want. I would like in the future for Netflix to be like a studio, like Warner Brothers, Universal, like anybody else, and they'll make their movies, they'll come out in theaters, and then when they're done, they'll go to Netflix.
I mean-
I think that's the way they should do it. And if you agree with me, I would say go see Frankenstein, because you got to put your money where your mouth is. You vote with your wallet. You know what I mean? You tell Netflix that you'll go out and see these movies, and they make a couple $100 million that they would not have made otherwise. Maybe we can get them to release some of these things.
Just think of the popcorn buckets.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Like a Frankenstein popcorn bucket, that's what's up.
That is what's up. Did you see what the next Conjuring popcorn bucket looks like?
I couldn't tell if what I saw was AI or not. I saw two. One where she's holding a bucket.
Okay, so that is the one. What Ryan's talking about is Annabelle, the doll, is holding a bucket, and that is the official popcorn bucket for
The
Conjuring
other
2.
one I saw was her butt.
It probably
Like it came.
her butt is probably not
It
the
might have-
real one, Ryan.
Might have been an AI image, but I saw it. And they were like, "Oh, the new image is leaked," and it was
Unless
like
the movie is Deadpool, the popcorn bucket is probably not a butt.
I'm just saying, though, everybody would want to reach into Annabelle's butt for some popcorn. That's what would fly off
Wouldn't
the
it
shelf.
make more sense
Everybody
to
would
be the
need it.
drink cup
Okay,
with a straw?
maybe.
I don't know. Speaking of popcorn buckets, I have the popcorn bucket up in my library of Ghostbusters. What was it? The one before Frozen Empire. The Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yes.
That's a. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I couldn't think of it either.
And I even bought like one of the, not a horribly expensive, like a $20 like raised stands to like be hanging on to it as it's sitting on top of my Stephen King collection.
I wanted the dumb Deadpool bucket, right? I wanted it for the Deadpool and Wolverine.
They're selling out.
And I specifically went to AMC the morning like that it came out, right? Or whatever. I was there early. They were all sold out already. And then,
Yeah.
obviously my phone had been listening to me. So then I go onto TikTok, right? And I see every streamer is like, "Oh yeah, I made sure as soon as they came in that I was first in line. I'm not even seeing the movie until Sunday, but I made sure to come in and get my bucket." I'm like, jerk. Like,
You're
it's like,
the reason. Or it's the
that's
people
what-
who buy like 10 of them to sell on eBay.
I don't know if they allow that. I guess I
Oh,
don't
they
know.
allow.
Oh.
They sometimes have limits, like you can only buy 2 or whatever, but they're
Yeah.
usually allowed to buy more than one.
But I remember being mad because like I never cared to have one, and I wanted that dumb popcorn bucket. and literally, they were also, and like I said, then I sign online and I see, oh, every streamer literally showed up that like they knew the moment it was on sale, and they're not even seeing the movie yet. I'm here to see the
Yeah.
movie. I deserve that bucket.
No, I get it. I am a huge. No, I really do get it. I'm a huge fan of Ninja Turtles, right? But I'm not gonna go to McDonald's and get like 30 Happy Meals to get the Hello Kitty Ninja Turtle toys. But I might buy them on eBay.
I'm just
And
saying.
people like me are ruining it for people like you, because people like me are gonna wait for those scalpers to get that shit just so they could buy it secondhand.
And I get it. It's just the way of the world, man. It's just how it works. But yeah.
Collectibles.
Yeah, collectibles, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? Not it, my grandma worked for McDonald's, so literally that was my Christmas present every year. Is whatever was the hot set that year, we all got it.
I mean, that could be pretty cool if you
It
still
was
if
pretty
you still
cool.
had those. You know, that could be worth money. Remember the Inspector Gadget from 1998,
I,
where each toy was like a different limb, and if you got them all, you could build like a 16-inch Inspector Gadget.
I've gone through stuff, and so far I found every piece except for the watch for the waistband and his hat. I found everything else though.
Fair enough. Let's jump into headline number 2.
Why you should be excited for the next Lord of the Rings film, The Hunt for Gollum. It's no secret that Warner Brothers has been itching to make more money from the Lord of the Rings property. Their last released theatrical film was The War of the Rohirrim, which was all but confirmed to be produced for the sole purpose of retaining the franchise rights. And it didn't do well.
No, but they didn't care if it did well, because they needed to be made, and they needed
Yes.
to make a theatrical released film in order to hang on to the rights. And like I said, it was worth the amount of money that the film cost to do that.
Right.
So even if it was a strategic business
I was
move.
going to say it was a business move.
That being said, I am one of the few people who saw it in theaters. Not only did I see it in theaters, I have the 4K Blu-ray Steelbook, and
course.
I really liked that movie.
I'll bet you do.
It was a lot of fun.
I'll
But
bet
I
it
also like the Rings of Power on Amazon Prime. So
he really does.
I actually read the Silmarillion.
You're a madman. So it was a decent animated film that fit nicely into Tolkien's canon. However, it came and went without most of the general audience even noticing. Although the same cannot be said for the highly anticipated upcoming midquill, The Hunt for Gollum. Just a few days ago in London at the For the Love of Fantasy event, Sir Ian McKellen revealed that he will be returning as Gandalf the Grey for the film. Along with him will be Frodo Baggins himself, Elijah Wood. The confirmation that two of the most iconic characters from the saga are returning makes sense, if only for franchise cohesion. Considering Andy Serkis is directing this movie, and the decision may have also been partially inspired by the desire to cultivate a familiar and comfortable film family on set. That makes sense. In any case, both of your hosts are huge Lord of the Rings fans. We are. And we personally couldn't be more excited about Return of the Kings. The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, will be released on December 17th, 2027.
Yeah. Actually, we'll definitely see it in theaters. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe this story is basically when Gandalf tracks down Gollum after, we have the first scene in Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
He's like, I gotta go figure out what's
Keep it
going
secret.
on. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. And then he leaves. In the book, it's like 15 or 20 years before he comes back. And that's when this movie takes place.
That's so interesting to me. Like, I love in the middle of stuff. Like, I get it from Star Wars with all the books we got, Shadows of the Empire.
Midquills, bud. Midquills.
Yeah, I love that shit. It's so cool.
Well, that is part of the reason why I liked Alien Romulus so much, is it fit perfectly between Alien and Aliens. And it's just like, guys, we're just going to slip this in right here.
Man,
just
I still haven't seen
little
it.
adventure. Oh, my God. You haven't seen it?
I'm terrible.
Okay.
I got such a list of movies I need to watch.
So to be clear, Alien Romulus is fantastic, but Alien Earth is so good. Alien Earth is an 8-part miniseries on FX. It is a show that takes place... So it takes place 2 years before Alien, the original Alien, and after Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Now, a lot of people are saying that Prometheus and Alien Covenant are not actually canon anymore, and that is incorrect as far as I know. My understanding is Alien vs. Predator 1 and 2 are no longer canon, but Prometheus and Alien Covenant are still canon. And the reason why is Alien Romulus, which takes place after the original Alien, included the black goo, which is wrongly referenced in Prometheus. So we'll have to see if Alien Earth retcons that or not. But as of right now, considering it is just a crashed spaceship, it could go either way. Did I blow your mind yet?
I was going to say, does anybody else's head hurt right now?
The Alien franchise is kind of like the Star Wars franchise. They're just putting shit all over the timeline, and it's really hard to keep track of.
They lost me, man. I think I fell off at Resurrection.
Well, dude, that one was before it even got complicated. That was just 4, and it was the 4th movie released. That was Alien 1, 2, 3, 4. It didn't get complicated till after that.
I'm not a smart man, Joe. I like a dumb, entertaining movie. When it gets complicated, you lose me sometimes.
Well, you know what's dumb and entertaining?
What?
Zombie flicks. Zombies in general.
Yeah?
Kind of like headline number 3. Which is, by the way, if you didn't know, guys, I'm going to do this. Do you mind if I say the name of this headline?
Not at all.
Marvel's Zombies is coming for us all. Take it away.
It seems like there's zombies everywhere these days. There isn't a corner of pop culture you can escape to that doesn't have some kind of undead apocalypse, including Marvel. What started out as a fun comic book saga co-created by the father of The Walking Dead, oh, look at that, I'm making calls, Robert Kirkman, will now be resurrected into a Disney Plus animated show on September 24th. That's my birthday.
Oh, Oh, happy birthday. You get dead Marvel characters.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And don't you worry, gore fans. The show is said to be TVMA and not suitable for younger audiences. This 4-episode Halloween event will take us back to the grim dimension we first witnessed in Marvel's What If back in 2021. Their introduction in that episode ended on a cliffhanger where our surviving heroes head off to Wakanda, unaware that a zombified Thanos is hot on their tail. It's probably safe to assume that this ministries will pick up directly where that story left off. One thing is for sure. Anyone who chooses not to feed their brain with the tasty animated flesh of this show will truly be dooming themselves to a dystopia manifested by their own boredom. Indeed. Can't tell Joe wrote this at all.
I like a bit of the whimsy, Ryan, when I write things.
It's whimsical. It's quite whimsical.
Yeah.
Very.
It is funny because sometimes when reading, I could tell that you like just go by it quick, and I'm like, did I misspell that word or did Ryan misread it?
I feel like it's like weird trying to read Joe's speech sometimes.
All good, all good. You know what else is all good? Having fun in the summer. It is the summer, and we like to do a lot of things. You know, one thing I haven't done in a really long time, Ryan, was go to any kind of amusement park.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I lived in LA, I was one stop away from Universal Studios Hollywood, so I got to go there all the time. But I moved right during the pandemic, so I can honestly say I haven't ridden a ride or done an amusement park for like 6 years. But I used to always love it. We used to go to Cedar Point because we're located near Detroit, and Cedar Point's the closest like give a crap amusement park we got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I went last year and I rode all the rides. I rode all the big ones. Still scared the shit out of me. I enjoy the ride, not the climb, not the wait.
Fair enough. Well, something apparently happened at Cedar Point, and that is our headline number 4.
Amusement parks can kill you. Remember that. Sandusky, Ohio is home of Cedar Point, a theme park that boasts that they are the home of more roller coasters than any other, which they claim makes them the most sought-after thrill-seeking destination in all of the United States. However, these thrills may be accompanied by some genuine danger. A ride at Cedar Point remains closed after a cable on it snapped on August 11th, with riders still on board.
Well, that would be just the most terrifying thing ever. Like, I'm just going to spoil one thing. No one died here, so, it's okay. But can you imagine being on that ride and just having, like, you just hear the sound and have this cable fall behind you? Be like, was that supposed to happen? Like,
No.
Yeah.
I don't even mess with the power tower. For those who don't already know, the Power Tower is an almost 300-foot tall vertical attraction that drops you straight down like a broken elevator. Some of the riders escorted off Sunday were Ryan and his family. No relation.
To be clear, this person didn't want to give their last name. That's why it's only Ryan, but it's not co-host Ryan. It's not that guy right next to me.
No relation. Me and my 2 daughters were next in line, standing directly below the drop towers. I heard a twing type of sound, like tension being released. And then this giant cable came down. It was like slow motion. Then the cable hit the guard tower, and it sounded like the earth was coming to an end. That's when everyone started freaking out, scattering and running. It broke from the top. Whatever the weight of the steel cable falling from 250 feet is, it sounds like a giant whip. It was scary, said Ryan.
Dude, it would scare the crap out of me. Can you imagine?
No, yeah, you'd think you're dead. Like the opening scene of Ghost Ship.
Oh my God, I was just thinking that. Well, you know what? There's a lot of horror movies where wire breaks and it goes flying and people get like decapitated or their arms slipped off. Like, yeah. Oh, you know what else is Final Destination 5? That one, I think the very end of the film is a bridge collapse. And when those cables snap and just watching the carnage, whew, that would be the first thing upon my head. To be like, oh my God, we're all going to be decapitated.
The good news is we're going to refund you guys for your visit to Cedar Point today.
Yeah, right. Like, and here's a coupon for free food at the Chicken Shack.
And a hat.
Ooh, a hat. I mean, to be fair, no one's hurt, right? So it's okay.
According to Cedar Point, a single cable detached from the ride. A spokesperson said the power tower's safety system worked as designed and no one was hurt. Still terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's good. They're not like, all right, we're going to drop them.
That's exactly what it's supposed to do. Inspectors arrived at Cedar Point that following Monday and Tuesday to perform further inspections on the ride. The ride will be shut down until it's deemed safe for public to enjoy. And I will not ever be one of them.
I mean,
never been on the power tower. I'm good. I don't need to do that.
I feel like when it comes to a ride, right? Like you don't want to be on it for like the first year or the second year, but you also don't want to be on it for like the 30th year. So I think the safe zone is like year 8. Year 8 of a roller coaster is when I'm going to go on.
Like we literally already covered. It was not that long ago where Siren's Curse kept getting stuck. And people had to keep like getting escorted off, and it's like, man.
Siren's Curse, which is, if you guys don't know, is a new roller coaster that opened this year, and it has people had to evacuate the ride at least 4 times. I've saw in the news.
Yeah, and it's a ride where eventually it like tilts you vertical. So what happens when that happens, and then it stops? Because didn't that happen? That did happen.
Well, I will.
They were able to release it, but
they've tested it enough to know that no one would be like really, really stuck there. I mean, you know what I mean? There's ladders, there's stairs, but I don't want to be the guy who has to try to unlock the belt and get out and go down a ladder like hundreds of feet in the air on a roller coaster. Even just walking down those really narrow stairs next to the, when you're going up that part that you hate, Ryan, where it's like,
oh my God.
Click, click,
Oh, it's
click,
the worst.
click, click.
No.
And you ever look to the left or right and you notice like a really thin stairwell that's super steep next to you? They have to walk down that.
I believe I've told this story before, but I think it's worth re-mentioning. I remember when I was young with my dad at Cedar Point, and Millennium Force was kind of new, and it broke down at that top part.
Oh my God.
And
were you there? You were in it?
I was not in it, thank God.
Okay, yeah.
But we were standing down there, and me and my dad literally just stood there, and we watched people have to get off the ride from that tallest point and walk down those narrow stairs you were just mentioning. Dude,
I mean, there's just a railing. That would be horrifying in of itself.
I'd be laying down. Like I'd be laying down, looking at the sky, scooting down one stair at a time on my butt. Is literally that's it. There's no other way. Like I don't even know how I could get out of the ride. Oh my God. I have a fear of heights.
Yeah.
The older I get, the worse it gets too. I don't know what it is.
I wouldn't say I have a fear of flights, but I have a fear of flying. So I think it's similar because it's falling. I don't want to fall from the sky and die. So
I'd rather similar.
Not.
Yeah. No, I'm not as scared of flying, but no, when it comes to, like I said, it's the waiting in line because the anxiety build, and then that whole climb, like I am looking dead nuts at the clouds. I can't look down. But once the ride goes, my hands are in the air. I'm having a blast. I'm laughing. I'm screaming. I'm having a great time. I love the ride. It's the wait and the climb that I hate. I hate it.
You know what I really enjoy from roller coasters is not necessarily the drops. I really like the turns and the spins, which is why at Universal they probably got rid of it, but they had the Mummy ride, and it was an indoor roller coaster that was in the dark. It was basically in a warehouse, and they had like black light mummy monsters that like lit up as you drove by. But that was just really, really fun because it was an indoor roller coaster and didn't go up that high, so it was just kind of a lot of like bunny hills and like a lot of twists and turns, and it sounds like it wouldn't be that like scary or thrilling, but I think that's why they put it in pitch black dark, because it's a lot scarier when you're like you can't see anything. This is like left, right, shit, there's a mummy.
Kind of reminds me of the rock and roller coaster at Disney World,
right?
Because that was like kind of indoors and it was dark. Same Space Mountain. That's another one that's dark and it's indoors. So like, but man, I swear to God, the Space Mountain at Disneyland is more fun than one Disney World. And arguably Disney World is better than Disneyland. But I swear to God,
Disney World is definitely bigger than Disneyland, but I've never been to Disneyland. I've only been to Disney World, so I really don't have a frame of reference.
There were differences in the rides that I noticed because I'm spoiled. My kids took me to Disney World like a bunch. So like
took you?
My kids. My parents.
I was going to say, like, your kids got some
They're
like
cool
commercials
kids.
selling peanut butter. Like,
dude, they're cool
I
kids.
got money. I got you, Dad. Let's go to Disney.
For real.
That'd be kind of awesome.
But no, me and my girlfriend went to Disneyland for my first time there and hers as well last year. And they had a lot of similar rides to, but there were major differences. There were. Pirates of the Caribbean ride, way better at Disneyland. I don't know what it was. Disney World was not as long.
I haven't seen it since they added Jack Sparrow to it. When I saw it, it was still the animatronics. So it was. I don't know if they did that for the first movie or if they waited till the movies were popular. So it was early 2000s, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was around then.
You know what's weird is the alien encounter. They now made it Stitch,
but
from
that's
Lilo and
gone.
Stitch.
And that's gone already again too.
It's already gone. Well, I figured the new movie they may have brought it back.
No, not that I've heard of, but yeah, I went to the original Alien Encounter and I went to the Stitch one.
The original one was better. It was scary.
It was.
It was scary as hell. They're like, "There's an alien! Oh, escaped!" You hear people screaming, and then it made it sound like you hear a crunch, and it's water. But
And
they make it feel like blood falls on your face.
And you've got this like shoulder harness on, right? And when it's chewing on people, like you can feel it climbing like across you, like as it's going by. And the way the audio works, like it sounds like it made its way around, and then it bites into something and you get sprayed.
Yeah.
And I remember one voice, whose brain is this? I remember they added that to it. It was amazing.
Yeah, Disney, much like the movies they made in the early 80s, was once really dark and awesome and scary before it got super, super weird. But you know what? I will say that this episode was full of a lot of nostalgia, Ryan.
We went around.
Yeah, we talk about the toys we like when we were kids, the rides we used to ride.
I mean, you know what? I feel like people need
the
to remember.
mermaids we used to give our kids to.
That's right. And all of the manatees that we found strangely attractive.
Listen, manatees are some saucy creatures.
They're saucy. Hey, people thought they were mermaids, right? So, I mean, there's something to them,
If you Google the reason why, it's kind of gross. Guys, do us a favor, download this episode. I'm actually not kidding. Download it.
Yeah.
Right now. Do it.
Guys, just do it. Just do it, man. He's crazy.
Anyways, thanks again. Join us next week. We have new episodes every Thursday.
And please, guys, if you would, I have a mission for you. Share this podcast with grandma. Share it with your dog, with your cat. We're more popular with cats, but we're trying to get the dog demographic. But more importantly, a coworker, a friend, just share us with everybody. We're Detroit-based, and we're trying to get out there, and we love you guys, and we hope you love us too, because we really need that kind of, we need that comfort of love. We need to know.
Well, Ryan, it might make you feel better to know that we went up 3 points in the squirrel demographic.
That's right.
Yeah, it turns out that talking about walnuts mainly seems to have really attracted that crowd.
Well, we got to know our demographic, and squirrels are really, they're cute in a way, and they've got really fluffy tails. And I would like a fluffy tail. Fluffy tails are nice.
Earthling Entertainment. Goodbye.
Earthling Entertainment.
See ya.